My hands were still warm from holding the pregnancy test, the cheap plastic edges digging into my palm. When the phone rang, I answered and heard my husband say, "She doesn't suspect a thing. And the divorce papers are already signed." Quietly. Signed last Tuesday, the day I bought the prenatal vitamins. The call lasted 5 seconds, but it erased 7 years in one breath. And in that silence, I realized betrayal doesn't just break trust, it breaks your story. But the worst part wasn't what he said. It was what I recognized in his voice. That pregnancy test wasn't my first. It was my fourth. 3 pink lines, faded in the drawer like old photographs. First, hope sharp and bright. Second, grief blurred at the edges. Third, just a ghost of a line. And silence so heavy I stopped opening that drawer. But this one, the blue plus, was so bold. It looked like a promise. I remember standing in the bathroom, sunlight hitting the sink, hand on my stomach, whispering, "We made it." Daniel had been different lately. Not cold, just careful, like walking on glass. He'd hug me, but his hands never stayed long. He'd kiss my forehead, but never my lips. And every night at 7:03 p.m., the exact second my microwave beeps for tea, his phone would ring. Same tone, same pause. He'd step into the garage and close the door. I told myself, he's stressed. Work, the economy. Maybe he's planning a surprise. But his cologne changed. He used to wear sandalwood, warm, familiar. Now, I'd press the collar to my nose. Vanilla. Sweet and wrong. Baby powder, soft and foreign. And my brain would scramble. Daycare. A niece. A colleague's baby. As if my nose didn't already know the truth. Then last Monday, the day before last Tuesday, found it. Tucked in his gym bag. Pink hair tie. Stretchy. Lived in. Not mine. Mine are black. Always have been. I held it between my fingers. And for the first time, I didn't make an excuse. I just let my knees bend. Not to fall. Just to be closer to the floor. Closer to the truth. We're taught to look for the slap. The scream. The slam door. But betrayal, it doesn't arrive with noise. Slips in. With a changed cologne. Missed kiss. A hair tie in the wrong color. That night he came home smiling. Brought takeout. Held my hand at the table. Said, "You look beautiful tonight." And I believed him. Because hope is louder than fear. Hope is louder than fear. But fear leaves receipts. I just never looked in the right drawer. So when the phone rang the next day, while my hands were still warm from that test, answered. Him cheerful, "Hey babe. Everything okay?" Me steady, "Yeah. Just missed your voice." Him laughing, "Ah, you're sweet. Gotta run, clients here." Lick. Played it back. And there it was, in the background. Child's giggle. Then a woman's voice, muffled but clear. "Daddy, the pancakes are ready." That laugh. I knew that laugh. We'd bought those pans together. Cast iron, heavy, expensive. I'd cooked pancakes every Sunday until he said, "Let's save electricity." My fingers moved before my mind did. I opened notes. Typed the quote. Then, for the first time in 7 years, I turned on location sharing, on his phone. That night I opened the fridge. There it was, unopened. Maple syrup. $12.99. He'd always said, "Too expensive. We don't need it." Now I knew. He wasn't saving money. He was saving it for her. I waited until he slept. Opened his laptop, password our wedding date. In downloads, a folder. Taxes 2024. Inside. Lease, 2B, Oakwood Apartments. Tenants, Daniel and Tanya Miller. Move-in March 12. Our anniversary. And beneath it, an email from his mother. Tanya is such a good mother. Lily is thriving. I know it's hard lying to your name, but you're doing the right thing. Some women just aren't meant to be mothers. Froze. Because I'd heard those words before. The day I lost my second pregnancy. He held my hand and said, maybe it wasn't meant to be. Some women just aren't built for this. I printed everything, slipped it into a manila folder, wrote one word, evidence. For 10 days I watched. Every Tuesday and Thursday, 6:45 p.m. He'd leave work, drive 12 miles west, park outside 2B, Oakwood Apartments. I checked the time once. 6:48 p.m. Almost 7:03. And I wondered, does her microwave beep at 7:02? Does she wait for the same ring? Then on day 8 my phone buzzed. Daniel is at a new location. Opened the map. Zoomed in. He was holding a little girl about 3 on his shoulders. She had his eyes. And my smile. The same one I'd practiced in the mirror. The day we got married. The same one I'd whispered to my belly. We made it. In that moment, I didn't feel rage. I didn't feel grief. Felt relief. Because now I knew. It wasn't me. It was never me. I booked an appointment. Not with a lawyer. With a private investigator. I handed him the folder. He flipped through the lease. The email. Photos. Then he stopped. Pointed to the little girl. Her name's Lily, he said. Named after his grandmother. My breath caught. 'Cause I had chosen that name. After my third miscarriage, I'd whispered. Next time, let's call her Lily. He'd frowned. Too old-fashioned. The PI looked up. There's more. He pulled out one last photo. Time-stamped last Tuesday. Daniel at a pharmacy. Holding 2 bottles. Prenatal vitamins, he said. Hers. 4 months along. I stared at the photo. Same store. Same aisle. Same brand I'd bought that morning. And in that second, understood. This wasn't just betrayal. It was a replacement. And replacements need an empty space. So I did the only thing left. I made that space bigger. I let them think I still didn't know. While I planned the day I'd walk into 2B and ask Lily one question. I didn't wear black. I didn't bring papers. I wore my favorite dress, the one he said made me look tired. And I carried a paper bag. Inside, 1 bottle of maple syrup, $12.99, a box of prenatal vitamins, and a pink hair tie, the one I'd found in his gym bag. I drove to Oakwood at 6:40 p.m., parked 2 spots down, waited. At 6:48, his car pulled in. He got out, smiled at the doorman, didn't look back. I walked in behind him. The lobby smelled like vanilla. Of course it did. We stepped into the elevator same time. He didn't see me at first. Then he turned. His smile didn't drop. Froze. Like a photo, developing in real time. Hey, he said. What are you doing here? I held up the bag. I brought syrup. He swallowed. This isn't a good time. I know, I said. It's 6:48. In 15 minutes your microwave will beep. And she'll wait for the phone to ring. The elevator dinged. Door slid open. Apartment 2B. The door was slightly ajar. I heard it. The sizzle of butter in a pan. Child's laugh. And faintly. Microwave beep. Beep, beep, beep. Whisper. 7:03. He reached for the doorknob. I put my hand on his arm. Not to stop him. Just to feel if he was real. Let me in, I said. I just want to meet her. Before he could answer, the door opened. She stood there. Nya. Mid-30s. Barefoot. Apron tied over a soft sweater. hair pulled back with a pink hair tie. Her eyes widened. Not fear. Recognition. "Oh," she said. "You're her." Smiled. "And you're the reason my prenatal vitamins had a bitter aftertaste." She stepped aside. "Come in." The apartment was ours. Same couch. Same rug. Same cast iron pans on the stove. Even the photo on the wall, our honeymoon, just cropped. Begun. Just him smiling at the sea. Lily ran in, barefoot, pigtails, flower on her nose. She stopped when she saw me. Stared. Then slowly she smiled. I smile. "Who's that, Mama?" Tanya knelt beside her. "This is an old friend of Daddy's. Does she like pancakes?" I walked to the table, set down the bag, pulled out the syrup, the vitamins, the hair tie. Then I turned to Lily. "Actually, I have a question for you." She tilted her head. "Okay. Do you know why your daddy chose your name?" She nodded. "Because of Grandma." "Which Grandma?" "The nice one. The one who sings." "And does she sing in Urdu?" Tanya's breath catches. I didn't wait for an answer. I opened the vitamins bottle, shook one into my palm, held it out. "These are mine. From last Tuesday. Want to taste? They're sweet. Until the bitter kicks in." I didn't stay for pancakes. I left the bag on the table, walked out, didn't look back. That night the PI called. "She went to the ER at 9:17 p.m., he said. "Abdominal pain. Nausea. Elevated liver enzymes." "Which one?" "Tanya." They tested the vitamins she'd been taking. Found traces of licorice root extract. A dose. Long-term. Can cause hypertension. Miscarriage. In rare cases, fetal growth restriction. I sat down. Was Lily affected? Silence. She's fine. But her file? Yes. It's not under Lily Miller. It's under Lily Ahmed. Your maiden name. Why would they use my name? Unless they needed my insurance. He emailed me a scan. Birth certificate. Child, Lily Ahmed Miller. Mother, Tanya Lynn Miller. Father, Daniel James Miller. Gestational surrogate. Blank. But in the corner, a stamp. Consent verified, Ahmed N. I opened my email. Searched. Surrogacy consent. Found it, sent 6 months ago. Subject. Final approval. Project Lily. Attached. A PDF. Page 3, my signature. It wasn't forged. It was real. I had signed it. But I didn't remember. Then, like a door opening, I remembered. Last winter. Flu. A fever. Daniel brought soup. And a glass of warm milk. "Drink this. It'll help you sleep." I drank it. Woke up 12 hours later. He said, "You were out cold. Must have been the fever." But my hands were ink-stained. I called my OB-GYN. "Is there a drug that makes you sign things and forget?" She didn't hesitate. Midazolam. Fast-acting. Amnesic. Sometimes used in fertility clinics. For consent procedures. But only with full disclosure. What if there was no disclosure? Then it's not consent. It's coercion. I went to the police. They took the birth cert, the email, the blood work. Then the detective asked, "Do you want to press charges?" Almost said yes. But then I thought of Lily. Flower on her nose. I smile. Asking if I like pancakes. "No," I said. "Not yet." "Why not?" I looked at the photo of her on my phone. Because she doesn't know the story yet. And every story deserves its own ending. 3 days later, 7:02 p.m., my phone rang. Unknown number. Area code 312. Answered. Then a child's voice. Curious. "Hi. Is this the lady who likes pancakes?" "Yes," I whispered. It is. Mama says you have the same smile as me. She's right. Do you sing? I used to. Can you sing the one about the moon? I didn't sing, I said. Only if you promise to remember it. I promise. And for the first time in 7 years, sing. When I finished, she didn't say thank you. She said, Daddy's crying. Is he? Yeah, sis. She remembered the words. Hung up, walked to the window, looked at the moon. And I knew. This wasn't about divorce or betrayal. It was about who gets to tell the story. So I opened my laptop and started writing. Not the ending they planned, but the one Lily deserves. I didn't sleep that night. I sat at my desk, the same one where I'd typed grocery lists, birthday cards, thank you notes for baby shower gifts that never came. My laptop open, cursor blinking, blank page. I typed. Her name was Lily. She had her father's eyes, deep brown, thoughtful, and her mother's laugh, bright, bubbling like water over stones. But her smile belonged to someone else. Someone who'd been told her story didn't matter. Someone who'd been edited out, but never erased. Stop. Read it aloud. My voice didn't shake. Anchored. This wasn't fiction. It was restitution. I wrote for 72 hours straight. Not in one burst. In stolen moments. 5 a.m. before the world woke. Lunch breaks at the park bench where I'd once sat, hand on belly, dreaming of our child. Late nights with tea gone cold, moonlight on the quays. I didn't write about her. I wrote for her. So when she was older, 10, 15, 25, she could hold this book and know. You were wanted. You were loved. And your story wasn't stolen. It was reclaimed. The pancake morning. Lily woke to the smell of butter and sugar. She ran to the kitchen, barefoot, pigtails bouncing. Her mama stood at the stove, humming. Her daddy set the table. 2 plates, 2 forks, 2 glasses of milk. But Lily always set a third. Just in case, she'd say. Her parents would smile. But they never asked. Just in case of what? Paused. Wrote in the margin. She knew. Children always know. The hair tie. One day, Lily found a pink hair tie on the floor. Stretchy. Lived in. She picked it up. It felt warm, like it had held someone's hair for a long time. She took it to her mama. Whose is this? Her mama's hands stilled. It's from an old friend. Does she have a smile like mine? Her mama looked at her, really looked. Yes, she whispered. Exactly like yours. I cried here. Not loudly. Just tears on the page. I didn't wipe them. Let them blur the ink. Proof it was real. The moon song. That night Lily couldn't sleep. She tiptoed to the living room. Her daddy sat by the window, phone in hand, tears on his cheeks. He was listening to a voice. Soft, trembling, singing. Chandni rat hai, sitaran ka mela. Lily climbed into his lap. Who is that, Daddy? He held her close. Someone who remembered the words. When I forgot how to hope. On day 4 I printed it. 22 pages. Full-color illustrations. Soft watercolors. A girl with 2 smiles, a moon that waxes and wanes, a table with 3 plates. I bound it by hand. Navy linen cover, gold foil title. The girl who had 2 smiles. Inside the front flap, no author. Just a line. For every child who wonders, was I the plan, or the replacement? I made 10 copies. Up 1. Sent 9 to the world. I didn't send them to publishers. I sent them to places she'd find them. Oakwood Elementary School Library. The children's section at Oakwood Medical Center. The waiting room at Dr. Reyes Fertility Clinic. A little free library 2 blocks from 2B. 11 days later, a photo appeared on Oakwood Elementary's Instagram. Mystery book alert. The girl who had 2 smiles appeared in our library this week. Students are obsessed. Who wrote it? Lily, sitting cross-legged on the rug, book open on her lap, her finger tracing the words. Her smile, my smile, wide, unguarded, alive. She saved it. Didn't share. Didn't comment. Just whispered. There you are. That afternoon my phone rang. Unknown number. Is this the writer? A woman's voice. Trembling. Who's asking? Tanya. Lily's mother. I didn't lie. I'm someone who believes in her. She won't stop reading it. She asks. Is the girl real? I don't know what to say. Tell her. The truth has many faces. But the love, that's always real. Long pause. Can we meet? Not yet. Why not? Because she doesn't need a hero. She needs a story she can grow into. And I'm not done writing it. The next Monday a certified letter arrived. From Reyes and Cortez Fertility Law. I opened it with scissors. Precise, calm. Consent form Ahmed N. Preliminary findings indicate. Midazolam was administered orally prior to consent signing. Full risks of glycyrrhizin toxicity were not disclosed. Surrogate compensation exceeded state limits. We are cooperating fully with the Texas Medical Board investigation. I read it 3 times. Folded it. Put it in the evidence folder. Then I called the PI. What's Daniel doing? He resigned. Effective Friday. Cleared his desk. Left a note. I need to be a father, not a fiction. And Tanya. She sued the clinic. Medical malpractice. Emotional distress. Named Daniel as a witness. Not a defendant. Smart woman. Yeah, he said. She asked about you. What did you say? I told her. She's writing the ending. I chose the park on Elm Street. Neutral ground. No memories. Just green grass, old oaks, a rusty swing set. Got there early. Sat on a bench. Held a copy of the book, the one I'd kept. At 4:03 p.m. A new time, a new ritual. I saw them. Unya. Daniel. Lily. Lily ran ahead, pigtails flying, red sneakers kicking up dust. She stopped a few feet away. Stared. Not shy. Not afraid. Just curious. Like meeting a character from her favorite book. You're the writer, she said. I am. Is the girl real? Yes. Is she me? I looked at her, really looked. Her eyes. Her smile. The way she tilted her head just like I did. She's whoever needs her to be. She nodded. Sat beside me. Opened the book to the middle. Can you read this part? Page 14. The girl looked at the moon. Why does it change? She asked. Her mother said. Because it's honest. It shows all its faces, even the dark ones. And still, the world loves it. I read it. My voice didn't break. She leaned her head on my shoulder. Warm. Trusting. Do you think the moon loves itself? I think it learns to. She was quiet for a long time. I drew something for you. She pulled a folded paper from her pocket. Handed it to me. Crayon drawing. 3 figures under a huge yellow moon. A tall man with brown eyes, Daddy. A woman with an apron and a pink hair tie, Mama. And a girl in the middle, smiling her 2 smiles. Above them, in wobbly letters. You plus me plus moon. Below. Guess I saved you a pancake. I didn't cry. I folded it carefully. Put it in my pocket right over my heart. Thank you, Lily. You're welcome. She stood. Will you write more? As long as you keep asking. Okay. She hugged me, quick, fierce, flower-smelling. Then ran back to them. I didn't watch them leave. I looked at the moon. Still daylight, just a pale ghost in the blue. And I knew. This wasn't forgiveness. It wasn't forgetting. It was continuance. That night I added one more chapter, just for me. Chapter 7, The Empty Space. After the story was told, the girl asked, "What happens to the empty space?" Her mother smiled. "We fill it." With what? With truth. With time. With small brave acts. Like setting a third plate. Like saving a pancake. Like drawing a moon. And inviting someone to stand under it. Closed the laptop. Walked to the window. The real moon was up now. Full silver luminous. And for the first time in 7 years, I didn't feel erased. Felt reclaimed. So I opened a new folder. Named it Lily's Library. And typed the first line of the next story. Once, there was a woman who thought her story was over. Until a little girl handed her a crayon. And said, "Keep going." 1 year later, on a June afternoon, golden and still, I sat on a porch swing. Not mine. Not theirs. New one. On a new house. Painted sage green. Wisteria climbing the railing. In my lap, a little girl. 4 years old. Pigtails slightly crooked. Flower on her nose. In my hands a book. Worn at the edges. Crayon marks on page 7. Pancake crumb on page 14. The girl who had 2 smiles. She pointed to the moon on the cover. "Read it again. Again. You know it by heart. I like hearing it in your voice." So I read. Not fast. Not slow. It was true. When I got to the end. And the moon loved itself just as it was. She looked up. Her eyes, deep brown, thoughtful, held mine. "Is the girl real now?" I brushed a curl from her forehead. "Yes." "Is she happy?" "She's learning." "What's she learning?" Took a breath. This was the moment. Not the betrayal. Not the evidence. The quiet truth, spoken gently to a child who deserved it. She's learning that some people will try to write your story for you. They'll crop you from photos. Poison your vitamins. Steal your consent. Tell you, you're not enough. You're not meant for this. Lily listened. Didn't flinch. Just nodded like she already knew. But here's the secret, Lily. The only person who gets to write your ending is you. With your hands. A voice. Your 2 smiles, the one for the world. And the one you keep safe for the truth. She was quiet for a long time. Then she climbed into my lap. Pressed her ear to my chest. "Can I hear the baby?" My hand went to my belly. 24 weeks. Strong kicks. Boy. Not yet. But soon. Will he have 2 smiles too? If he's lucky. She smiled. I smile. I'll teach him the moon song. I'd like that. That night Daniel came by. He rang the bell. Waited. Opened the door. He held a paper bag. "Maple syrup," he said. "The good kind. You remembered. Some things you don't forget." We sat on the porch. No awkwardness. No blame. Just presence. "She asked about you today," I said. "What did she say? Does he still cry when he hears the moon song?" He looked at the sky. Followed. "Only when I deserve to." I didn't forgive him. Not yet. But I honored his honesty. That's where healing begins. Not with erasure, but with accountability. "The clinic's settled," he said. "Full restitution. Medical fund for Lily. Lifetime coverage for any long-term effects." Good. They offered me a payout too. For emotional harm. "Did you take it?" "No," he looked at me. "Some debts aren't paid in money." We sat in silence. Crickets singing. Moon rising. "Can I see her tomorrow?" "Yes." "Will you be there?" "I'll be in the garden. Reading." He nodded. Good. At the gate he turned. "Thank you for writing her a better ending." "I didn't write it for her," I said. "I wrote it for me. So I could remember. Even when they erase you. Your story isn't over. It's just waiting for you to pick up the pen. I tell you this. Not for pity. Not for revenge. Tell you this, 'cause you've been here too. Maybe not with a phone call. Maybe not with vitamins. But with a silence that spoke louder than words. A receipt you didn't question. A smile you practiced. While your heart cracked. You've been told. You're overreacting. It's not that bad. Just let it go. But your body knew. Your nose knew. Your hands, stained with ink you didn't remember signing, knew. This channel isn't about drama. It's about validation. Every story I share is a lifeline thrown to the woman sitting in her car, rereading a text for the 10th time, whispering, "Am I crazy?" Well, you're not crazy. You're awake. And the moment you choose truth over comfort, that's not the end of your story. It's the first real sentence. I don't make these videos for views. I make them because last week, a woman wrote, "I heard the microwave beep and finally called the lawyer. Your words gave me the courage to trust my gut." Another said, "I showed my daughter the girl who had 2 smiles. She hugged me and said, 'Mama, I have 2 smiles too. We're healing together.' That's why I'm here. Not to entertain, to equip, not to shock, to awaken. Because the world needs more women who notice the vanilla when it should be sandalwood. Question the hair tie that isn't theirs. Save the receipts and the truth. And when the call comes, answer it. Record it. Rewrite the ending. If this story found you at the right time, if it made you sit a little taller, if it whispered, 'You're not alone,' do one small thing for yourself right now. Tap subscribe, not for me but for you. 'Cause next week, I'm sharing the story of a woman who found her husband's second life in a library book checkout slip. Yes, really. Hit the bell so you never miss a truth. These stories, they're not just mine. They're reminders that your intuition is data. Your grief is valid. Your rewrite is possible. Comment below, just the moon. No explanation needed. It's our quiet signal. I'm still here. I'm still writing. And if you're not ready to comment, that's okay too. Just know, you're already in the story. And the next chapter, it's yours to write. Some stories don't need heroes, just truth. And someone brave enough to tell it. Again, and again, and again. I'll be here, pen in hand, waiting for your next sentence. You're not erased. You're being rewritten.